What is
Train
this? What's
crash.
y00ts, bro? What is that? Tell me
Train
about it.
crash. Okay, so yes, y00ts has been delayed to from it was supposed to mint today, the second here, but it's been delayed to Sunday, which would make it the 4th,
FUD,
at 2
FUD,
p.m. Pacific
FUD.
Standard Time, most likely, it says there in in parentheses. So we still don't we don't we're not even promised that that will be the time. What is interesting is that it looks like it will be available on Magic Eden Launchpad. This is a kind of new development. Other than that, we got a bunch of new news yesterday as well about just changes to the y00ts project and really how the mint will go. So the first people that will be able to mint will be obviously everyone who's y00t listed, everyone who has a DGOD, the people from the DAO pool. Those people will be able to mint first. If there's any left over, so the people who like tried to applied for y00t list or whatever, some of them are going to have a status on their application that is essentially they're on the wait list. So the first list will be the people accepted, the DAO, the DGODs, and then if there's any left over, the people that didn't get y00t listed but are on the wait list can then mint. And I think that's actually kind of an interesting strategy because then people are more likely to hold on to their dust who didn't get accepted but are on the wait list. Some of those people are going to still hold on to their dust in case.
For an extra day.
Yeah, for sure, for an extra day. Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're that they're going to hold dust forever, of course, but it is interesting because leading up to I think at least thought that there would be probably more people offloading once they didn't get accepted right before the mint even. But what's going to be interesting is this will probably result in less people offloading their dust before mint. Just kind of an interesting effect I think that there will be. So you're actually, when you mint, you're going to get what they're calling a tube. It's essentially a vial. So you'll mint a vial that has no metadata, no rarity, anything like that. And you'll have that for 5 days of trading. Just these tube vials that have no metadata or rarity. When you mint it, all of the vials, the tubes, will be frozen until the mint is over, and then there will be an hour countdown in the Discord with a bunch of music and stuff. They're essentially going to have a countdown party to then they will all be unfrozen, and people can then start trading them immediately on secondary. So kind of wild mint
So
here.
you can't. So basically, you mint a y00t. You can't trade it, can't sell it, can't do
For
anything
an
with
hour.
it.
Or
For
well,
an
yeah,
hour.
until
Or
they mint it out.
until
An
after
hour
minting.
after they mint it out. Yep. So it's like people can't just start dumping them immediately, which is kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
you can't start selling it below floor.
Yeah. So that's kind of
Which
interesting.
I didn't expect that would
Yeah,
happen to this project anyway,
of
but
course.
it's kind of a smart way to just say to prevent that from happening, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of every kind of step of the mint is like tweaked a little bit in at least ways that where I was not necessarily expecting. So then after 5 days of trading that YouTube, then you will go to a website where you will burn that tube for the actual NFT. So after 5 days, you'll be able to burn it, get your actual NFT with the actual rarity data. They got rid of the trait store. The y00ts trait store is done. They're not going to do that anymore. That idea is
What?
totally done. Yeah, no more trait
Why?
store. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. No more trait store.
This project, why does this project get away? This is what I want to know is like, why does this project get away? Because if any other project had redid their roadmap, redid the design, and redid everything like this project's doing, everyone would be like, "This is actually a fucking mess. Why am I even doing? Why am I? I'm not going to invest in this. It's a fucking
It's
mess. They can't get anything fucking down." And then here, these guys just get away with. They're like, "Oh, we had this idea to do this fucking trade store," and no, never mind. And everyone's just like, "Oh yeah, cool. You know, they totally can do that. They could totally just." Constantly tell us a fucking idea they're going to do, not fulfill it, and we're totally cool with it. Why does this project get away with that and not
yeah,
others?
well, they definitely like totally jumped the gun on announcing all that stuff. Apparently, it's like they certainly should not
And
have
people are like,
put
I
out the
totally
YouTuber.
believe in Frank. Frank's a fucking genius. Dude. Then why the fuck does he have to change his goddamn project so much? I think he's a
Well,
fucking idiot
even
because he's
last
constantly
night,
changing his shit.
yeah,
I
well,
think
even
it's a
last
joke.
night, I mean, people asked about kind of what the future roadmap was of Utes, and I mean, he admitted that they're just figuring it out as they go along. So, there isn't
Yeah.
a
This
roadmap.
is such a
That's, I mean,
bullshit project, dude. This
it
is like no other
shows
project could
why.
go. No other fucking project could get away with that. No,
That's
no
why
other project could sit there
it
and
is
fuck up
genius
so
what
many
they've done.
times. There's
Yeah.
no other project could fuck up as much as they fuck up and still be like, oh yeah, it's totally hyped, totally hyped, totally hyped. Frank's awesome. D gods are awesome. Blah 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 blah. They fuck up so much and they
Yeah.
get away with it. It's
Well,
it's
that's why
crazy to me.
it's because it's not about, there's no utility to any of it, right? It's not about that. It's about the cult, like the little cult they've created,
And
literally,
I just think
you know?
that's not very long term sustaining. I
Oh,
don't
well,
think
of
that's
course
long.
not. I mean, at
Yeah.
some point, something real has to happen, right? You can only be driven off of hype and cult like kind of
And
just
I guess
behavior for
I would
so
ask
long.
you, do you have faith in this team, in Frank and everyone, to actually build something out of this for the long term?
I mean, me personally, you asking me personally?
Yeah.
No. Well, of course, I don't. I have no idea. I mean, because, I mean, like this DGOTS project has existed for like not even a year, So of course I have, it's like complete speculation. That's
Right.
why, I mean, this is all based on speculation. And, it's not, it's like in a more, it's a much more immature phase than like a Yuga Labs type project or a Bored Ape type project. I mean, Bored Ape, at least I guess they've had a party and they are building the metaverse. But, a lot of these big projects, what real value do they contribute outside of parties, merch, and games? I mean, what have we seen any of the big projects really do that's actually valuable?
No,
It's like, what is ApeCoin? It's a hype coin.
well, I get it, but I mean, like, because I think what's hurting, like, you just listed off the things like that people are, they're building communities, they're
Yeah.
building kind of type deal. Ape, they have, like, they're going to be launching like staking things, which is like, okay, cool. Every fucking
Yeah.
project has that dumpster fire. Then you have, they're building out an actual club out in like Miami that should be opening in a few
I've heard
years.
rumors of that. Yeah.
And so like there's like, and I'm not, I don't know. It's just like, hey, they're building stuff, blah blah blah. Whenever they fuck up, like people fud them like hard. Like it's right, the value,
Oh, dude,
everything's
they don't even have to
dropping like
fuck
crazy.
up. Everyone just
Right?
floods
Yeah.
them anytime they do anything.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
when the hell
Well, I
does
think this is part of the difference in
when does
Solana versus Ethereum too.
when
Solana
does
is like a
well,
cult right
DeGods
now.
will get to that point. It's like,
Yeah.
when do they get to that curve? When's that curve
Oh, totally.
of like,
Well, it's after
okay,
the
fud
hype,
'em.
right? It's after the hype runs out. And then, people start to get anxious, like what's happening now, right? And so, yeah, and I mean, and that's, I think, part of the problem for a lot of these projects. Moonbirds is the same way, right? You get to a point where there's a hype, and then, after NFT NYC, where all the parties were, then it started to be a question of why is anyone holding any of these, right? And then the delivery, like Moonbirds, when they then sent out socks, people were then like, what the, so I think you'll probably have that same moment eventually here for DGODs and Utes. I mean, I think at some point there will have to be a moment like that, right? Where people start to go, okay, how do we justify the price of any of this shit? And, what are you going to deliver? So I think we'll have to see. Of course, they have new staking mechanisms and all that stuff, and all the dust will be generated by the end of the year. And Frank last night was saying, they're going to try to, the goal here is, well, I guess they're hiring a shitload of people right now. And then I guess the goal is to be trying to deliver something new every 30 days is the goal. But, who knows? This is all just smoke and mirrors at this point. So yeah, I
They
think
just they just
everybody
want
is just flying by the seat of their fucking pants right now,
to.
you know?
Yeah, I just find it amazing that it's like I don't know. If you're an NFT trader, investor, whatever you want to call yourself, like just fucking ask yourself, like, this project has come out with so many different promises and so many different fucking things that they're gonna build and gonna do, and yet they just taking it off the table, like it means nothing, And so it's just like, would you invest in a project if it didn't have the hype, right? That did that kind of shit.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
think
I
so.
think that's
I,
just what everybody's doing essentially
I
right now.
I would
I mean,
just I don't know. I'm
almost
not you listed.
all NFT plays, like when I buy like
Like
Solana NFTs, I don't actually even look at almost any of the projects of what they're doing. I'm just
if
trying to buy
I
low and sell high.
yeah, I mean I would
Yeah.
yeah, I mean if
I don't have any
anyways.
Solana NFTs that I'm keeping because I think like these projects are building something that's going to be super cool right now at
No,
all.
and that's what I'm telling
Yeah.
people is like not financial advice, but I wouldn't hold any NFTs because of those
The
reasons.
word is
Because
degenerate. Yes, exactly.
this
It's
is
degenerate.
these are shit tokens with JPEGs on them.
Yeah, and I
But
mean,
anyways,
there are
I'm fudding Utes hard. I
you're
think it's
flooding
a total.
NFTs altogether actually right now.
Well,
But
yeah, I guess so,
it's
but I always do. I think NFTs are fucking ridiculous.
I mean,
But
I believe in NFT technology. I do. That's why I can't say that because I do think that NFT technology is actually very powerful and is going to be built into lots of stuff that like Web 2, the world is going to have NFTs and blockchain bolted on. And I think even governments at some point could use NFTs for things. So I think the underlying technology is there. I just think it's so early in the underlying technology that all that has been done right now is almost nothing, compared to what could
it
potentially be done.
it is nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think the potential of NFTs is great. The actual application right now is almost nothing, really.
Mm,
So,
hmm.
most of it is schemes. Most of them are
Yeah.
staking schemes, shitcoin generation schemes, video game, character type stuff, and merch things. I mean, that's it's like that Clone X shit. That's all just merch. That's the
Yep.
only thing going on there is merch. I
Yep.
Mean,
They have
it's
like avatars and stuff going on
well,
too.
yeah. I
But
mean, okay. Not every project is a PFP, right?
they have
But
well no, I mean like Web3 like or like metaverse kind of three-dimensional
yeah, yeah,
avatars
yeah,
that you could run around in all the cool
yeah.
worlds and
I know. Well,
with
that's why, again, like it sounds silly, everything we say about it. And that's, I think, the sign of where we are, right? That's why it's so early. Everything sounds silly, you know? So, it's that, and that's
yeah.
why, because we're that early. So, I think
Anyway,
that's
I
pretty
would
good. That was a good
if
rant,
you're on the Ute list, mint it and then I don't know, take
dude.
your
Mint and
fucking
print.
profits.
Yeah. Take your
Take
profits.
your
I mean,
profits, everyone.
I think there'll be like an immediate at least 2x profit that you could probably make. So take your
Yeah,
profits.
I'm imagining. Yeah, I really, yeah.
Take your
Because after
profits.
mint out, it's just gonna be like, yeah, why hold dust? Dust will dump. Everything will
Yeah,
just
well, so
dump,
that's
man.
the question is how much of the dust will then they own, right? Will and have locked up. That'll be interesting. Like what percentage of dust will then be locked up? So all these interesting mechanics to everything, it's like the math of how all this will work will be fascinating to watch. I again, like we said, this has just been really interesting to watch unfold and has been great for juicing the content out of
Yeah,
it.
and I would just say, yeah, if you're holding on to bag of dust, if you're gonna, it's like, dude, just take profits, guys.
Take profits. Always
If the market gives you the opportunity,
take profits
gives you
always.
profits, you didn't know you were gonna get it. Take them, take them. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, the one last little
Don't think
scheme I should mention here.
don't don't fucking just sit here and blindly follow this Frank guy just
Don't
because you
blindly
think
follow anyone.
He's not.
Period. That's good life advice.
I'm just
Don't
worried
blindly
because so many
follow
people
anyone.
are going to be like, I've already seen it on Twitter. People are like, this is why I'm holding on to dust and my Utes and my
Of
G-Gods
course, dude.
well after a bit. And,
Well, I mean, that's
and
what all
it's
these
like,
are. These
and
are
I'm just
little,
like,
just
guys,
they're
guys,
they're little colts, man.
and most of them are all saying, why? Because I believe in Frank.
Yeah.
I believe in Frank. And
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, like the dude has changed his fucking mind on this so many times. How many red flags are going to be thrown at you about this dude? Anyway, I'm done.
Perfect. Last little thing I'm going to mention here, just the last little mechanic that we got to at least just make sure we cover. The rejected list applicants will be able to enter a raffle. Well, I think they'll actually automatically be entered a raffle. They took a snapshot of how much dust all the rejected applicants had in their wallet. And then you get one raffle ticket for each dust you had in your wallet for a chance to win one of 100 Utes as well. So just another interesting little weird scheme going on there. Lots of little schemes.
Thank you for watching GMTV.